the Additional Divisional Commissioner of Jorhat. At this time, I would also like to extend our warm welcome to all other distinguished guests, parents, fathers, and other members of the school community. It's indeed our great pleasure to welcome you all. We are glad that we bring this wonderful evening to you all, filled with the desires, dreams, and hopes that we all share.
We appreciate that many of you have made a huge effort to join us today on this grand occasion, leaving aside your busy schedule. So, on behalf of the school community, we, the students of Class 10, Anindya Sundar Saikya,
Priyanki Saikya,
Sanmohita Borkakoti,
Abanish Chaudhary,
feel the pleasure to extend our most hearty welcome. Welcome to the Bosco NITE 2016!
This year too, we, the school community, has organized the Bosco Night, a night specially dedicated to the person who lighted the candle of knowledge all over the world, the friend of youth and the founder of the Salesian community, Saint John Bosco. Saint John Bosco, who is popularly known as Don Bosco, was one of the greatest educators of the 19th century and was born on 16th August 1815 at a small village, Becchi, near Turin, Italy. His parents, Francis Bosco and Margaret Occhienna, were ordinary peasants, poor and simple in the sight of men, but richly blessed in the sight of God.
Little Johnny Bosco, as fondly called by his village folk, experienced tragedy early on in life. His beloved dad, the breadwinner of the Bosco family, died suddenly, leaving Mama Margaret to shoulder the dual responsibility of being a father and mother to Johnny Bosco and his brothers. Johnny Bosco encountered many difficulties in his life. His path was filled with thorns and brambles. His first benefactor, Father Calesso, who had begun to help him in his studies, died an untimely death, thus leaving him with an uncertain future. His cousin Anthony was a constant thorn in his flesh, a persistent obstacle in his path. The financial burdens required for his schooling were weighing very heavily upon the family. Added to all this, since Johnny Bosco began his schooling rather late, was the biggest boy in his class and became the object of all ridicules.
However, all this did not deter Johnny to lose sight of his goal and mission, which was revealed to him in the famous dream at the age of 9, kept him going ahead in spite of the many obstacles. God blessed his hard work, perseverance, and sacrifices when in 1841 he finally achieved his cherished dream of becoming a priest of God to help the young. As a priest, he dedicated himself totally for his boys. He knocked on the doors of many generous benefactors to get help for his poor boys. He left no stone unturned in his effort to help them. Worn out by work, Don Bosco breathed his last on 31st January 1888. He was then 72 years old.
The religious society which he founded to perpetuate his work has grown into a mighty tree, providing homes to millions of young people, thus making their lives better. The tiny seed from the hamlet of Becchi has grown into a gigantic tree. The dream that he had at the age of 9 inspired him to be a priest and work for the poor orphans who had left their homes and had come to the city in search of work. The most significant achievement of Don Bosco was the revolution which he brought about in the concept of education. He was a man who changed the lives of many poor young adults. Today we are proud to be belonging to this great family of Don Bosco. His spirit and charism lives on in his sons and daughters around the world. The show goes on because Don Bosco lives on. We will make him live on because Don Bosco shines on.
The show goes on because Don Bosco lives on.
We'll make him live on because Don Bosco shines on.
Like making an attempt to make the sun stop shining, Robert Alden has beautifully said, "There is not enough darkness in the whole world to put out the light of even one small candle."
That is the power of light. Only light can drive out darkness. Where there is light, there cannot be darkness.
We now have the lighting of the lamp. This ceremony tells us that we prefer light to darkness, that we are the children of the light, and that we would walk in the light of God.
May I now invite the dignitaries for this ceremony.
At the very outset, let me welcome our honorable chief guest, Srimati Roshni Aparanji Kaurati, IAS, Additional Divisional Commissioner, Jorhat. We are very much honored, madam, in having you with us on this occasion of this celebration. You were kind enough to accept our invitation, though with a short notice. I am sure Don Bosco Higher Secondary School, Baghchung, is not an unknown institution for you, even though this may be your first visit to this campus. Our school had its humble beginning in the year 1986, and so far nearly 1,800 students have passed out from this institution, having completed their HSLC examinations under SEBA. The higher secondary section with arts and science streams under Assam Secondary Education Council started in 2010. The contribution of Don Bosco Baghchung to the development of the society in and around Jorhat is significant. It's a great blessing for us today in having the presence of Very Reverend Father Nestor, the Provincial Superior of our province. Our province, as an administrative unit, comprises the states of Upper Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur, and Nagaland. And Father Nesto is the one in charge of all Don Bosco fathers and mothers, as well as of all Don Bosco institutions which are in these 4 states. He has been very kind enough to accept our invitation and to spare some time to be with us for this program. We are immensely grateful to you, Father. While honoring our founder, Don Bosco, we invite all the parents and guardians of our students. It is because the performers of the entire program today, my dear parents and guardians, are your own sons and daughters. This is a moment for you to witness your own children in action. Our father and founder, Don Bosco, the great educator saint, known as the father of youth, always insisted that the young must be given lots of opportunities to develop all their talents. Hence, here in Don Bosco Baghchung, we offer the students not only the textbook knowledge, but also ample space for sports, music, dance, theatricals, public speaking, etc. Don Bosco used to tell the young students, run, jump and play, but do not sin. Do not do anything that is not good. Avoid everything that offends God. I am hopeful that the various items that you are going to witness this evening, especially the Assamese dance drama on the need to protect, preserve and promote the Assamese culture, will be both enlightening and relaxing for each one of you. As I conclude, let me once again welcome our Honorable Chief Guest, Srimati Roshni Aparanji Kaurati, IAS, and sincerely thank you, Madam, for accepting our invitation to be here. I am also immensely grateful to Reverend Father Provincial for his presence. Thanks to every one of you, dear parents, invitees, past pupils, and all the heads of institutions for your presence, and wish you all a very pleasant evening. God bless you.
Who is God?
Does God exist?
Has anyone seen God?
These are questions which often arise in our minds, but are difficult to answer.
Look at the rising sun,
The shining stars.
the moon that illuminates the night,
Listen to the chirping of birds.
gentle waterfall,
We will see Him.
because He is love
He is truth.
and is the source of all goodness.
He is in His creation.
And it is said that we, humans, are the most beautiful creation of His among all others.
So, in order to dedicate this following action song to Him, we now invite upon stage the students of classes KG and 1